Hello everyone, and welcome to today's countdown. I am your current new host, Intel, and today I am here joined by OTW's support player, Phantom Force.
You didn't get his name right.
No, Phantom Flex, apologies.
You should restart that.
You didn't get his name right.
Yeah.
I don't think the name's what they're focusing on.
Yeah.
It's what I'm focusing on.
Then we're going to be joined by Chef Zombie, the manager and DPS player for Hyperflex.
Yeah, that's you got my name right at least.
And lastly, we are here with the main support from Wisdom Academy, Geek.
Yes, sir.
So obviously we are going over, first we're going to be going over the recap of last week's games, and it was pretty interesting. Each team had their own scoreline. You know, I don't remember the games.
You do okay.
No, because that's a lie. No, I'm messing with you. Obviously, we had Geo, which went against SBC, and they won 3-0. So is there really any thoughts that we had on those games?
Who was not was Geo against again?
Geo against SBC.
SBC.
Oh,
That's the only game I didn't watch.
yeah, honestly, I didn't watch that game either.
Yeah.
But you know, I came to this so prepared by not watching one of the games.
Oh yeah, but
Well, I mean,
I guess could we be surprised Geo's looking really good and SBC's still trying to
yeah.
find their groove.
I didn't really see SBC winning, like maybe like a map or like a point or something, but I don't even know if they would manage to do that. It's just the team seems to
Did
be
they win a
like
point?
such. I don't know.
they did not. They got completely 3-0'd.
Oh jeez. Like,
Oh, like
I don't know.
no,
It's just.
like not even like a cap or anything.
Not to my knowledge.
Oh no.
No.
I mean, maybe they did. I don't know. It's just the team's in such a rough
Say
place right
like
now.
right now.
Or we picked up Me, right? Or MII, and from what I've heard from him, they're not in the best place right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very unfortunate.
I mean, they lost several players recently, right?
Yeah, they just dropped a new player.
Mm.
Yeah. Obvious, and also the player of the match for that game was Tilted Waffle. Fun fact.
Yes.
Tilted nutty.
And then going straight on to the next game, we obviously had Wisdom versus Edinburgh, which was kind of the star match of the game, where the player of the match was Titanic. Honorable mention, obviously, it's Red Panda. And Geek, you actually played in that game, so can we get your thoughts on that?
I played in. Oh yeah, I did play in that game. So it was really, honestly, for me on my side, it was super stressful. Because it really was, like, I know EM's a good team, and I know they definitely, like, we scrimmed them multiple times where, like, they have beat us a couple of times where, you know, I knew, like, it wasn't gonna be, like, no offense, Chef, like, a match like Hyperflex. So, one of the maps was really rough. I love you, Chef, so much, I'm sorry. Like, Volskaya was a yikes, but I think overall we had a really good performance.
Yeah, it was a pretty intense match from what I saw, though EM had a lot more mistakes than anything else. Is there any thoughts you have, Chef or Phantom?
I guess a match went how it went, and yeah, I mean, definitely for sure, this does show that, I forget who it was that said it. It was in someone's power rankings. They said it best. It shows that Wisdom can bleed.
Yo, that is true. That is very true.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing, but like, I think I watched like the last two maps, and yeah, both of them were. Maybe not both of them. I know Dorado was pretty close, so.
Yeah, I watched two of the maps.
They're not like untouchable, for sure.
Yeah. My brain turned off during that. I actually asked, wait, did we win? During one of our maps, because I forgot we won.
And obviously for the last game, we had OTW versus Hyperflex, which was a 3-0 in favor of OTW. The player of the match being Blue Jay, honorable mention being Tree 60, and me. And obviously, Phantom and Chef, you both came from that, but I would like to hear coming out of Phantom, how did it really feel for your first game to win and all that?
It definitely felt good because we were winless. I mean, I think everyone, or I hope everyone knew that OTW was like a powerhouse, you know? Like, just because we were 0-3 doesn't mean we were a bad team. And I think we played a bit sloppy, especially on Kings Row where we got back capped on point 2, but or the street space. But yeah, I think actually I'm not sure how Hyperflex did. I'm sure Hyperflex did fine. We haven't bottom reviewed that yet. I'm sorry, no shade, but like
I was gonna say, like, you did play in the match. I
like,
thought you know how it went.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I think you played first point of Nepal pretty well. Yeah.
That was a good one. And then
Yeah, like how did you feel on the match specifically, Chef?
I mean, as a player that was in the match, I went in, like, also managing. I came into this with pretty much a brand new team, to be frankly honest. It was like, it's literally Lori and I now, at least, the only 2 people that are here from the draft. We did have Valerie that game too, and outside of that, Blitz's first time on the team, Chip's first game, and we even had to be lent more for the week because our our only other main support, Bob's, was away for the weekend, so we couldn't play. And outside of that, kind of like with all that, I guess you could say there's only really like so much that you could expect out of a team that's just like that. I feel for the situation, I do feel like we played our hearts out, and while yes, there was some moments where we still looked like the old Hyperflex, I feel like there was definitely a lot more good moments compared to those other moments.
Yeah, or like, I think I can attest to that. Like now that I've thought about it, I don't mean to throw shade or anything. Thought about it. I think Kings Row point A in particular, y'all did pretty good. Like there were definitely flashes of like hope.
Yeah, I'd say, at least from a personal standpoint, outside of Temple of Anubis, I feel like we did pretty well. Granted, we went 3-0, but
yeah, I can agree with that.
It was still a good game, and I think Hyperflex is really showing that, you know, you may be at the bottom tier right now in most analysts, but you're starting to make those changes, even if you are technically in debt, like a capitalist would be. But we're going to be going over the next week games, which will be very interesting. Obviously, you guys have set your own predictions. So for the Geo versus Wisdom game, obviously, Phantom, you guessed a 1-3, obviously in favor of Geo. In favor of Wisdom, Geo winning 1. Geek, you couldn't vote, and Chef, you did 2-3. Why so confident in the Wisdom and slacking a bit on Geo?
I guess that comes down to, at least, while I didn't watch their game last week, I did watch, I remember Acronator streamed it when he was doing his stuff, and I watched that, and I watched 2 of the maps were played in like ×2 speed, and so while I couldn't really tell what was going on, I had a general idea. And while I do feel like, for the most part, this will be a very big back and forth, at least from like the looks of things right now, like, I just feel like it's going to come down to a support diff, because Geo's supports have been kind of a little on the lacking side. As like they've been very good supports. Don't get me wrong there, but compared to Wisdom, they've been there was a couple of times where they were like doubling up on their support ultimates and stuff like that.
I have a different take on it. So we've played both Geo and Wisdom quite often, and I feel like when it comes to Geo, right? Like, I want to say it's kind of the SDA show. Like, as someone who's played both, like SDA's carry potential probably outweighs most DPS. Like, except maybe like Phi on the far on certain maps. Like, I think this game, like, it could be close, but I have a feeling it might it's either Wisdom knows how to shut down SDA or they don't. And in the case that they don't know how to shut down SDA, I could see Geo winning actually, but I do trust Livino a lot, and I respect him and his abilities, so I'm assuming that Wisdom will be able to pull out on top. So that's why I put 3 of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Geek, how do you feel going in? Because this is kind of a team that's also rated really high.
Yeah. I'm pretty confident in our abilities as a team to beat Geo. You know, like, Geo is a really good team, but sometimes I see that they show like inconsistency. Like they said with the supports, because I remember like it was like week 1 or something, like SDA wasn't there, and then like no one was sure what was going on. So as a team, I have full confidence in my team that we would be able to beat them. So that's my kind of take on it.
You know, that makes sense. Honestly, Wisdom is right now favored by both the analysis and the community, like very much over 50%, so it's going to be an interesting time. I'm definitely not going to be slacking on Geo, even though I voted in a 3-0 in favor of Wisdom, but that's just not me, you know? The next game obviously being Edinburgh versus Hyperflex, which I voted for a 3-0 in favor of EM. Phantom, you put a 3-0 too. Geek, you put a 3-0, and Chef, you couldn't do. So let's just go off for Geek and Phantom. What really are your feelings of how you feel so strong that EM are just going to win so dominantly?
Well, I guess I can go first. First of all, as we mentioned earlier, Hyperflex, they've been going through some internal changes. They're not as, well practiced as the EM roster, which I believe has pretty much stayed unchanged since they picked up the team, minus like MT, being subbed out sometimes. And EM's definitely like a top-rated team, and I feel like Hyperflex in their current state is going to have a bit of trouble. Yeah.
And what about you, Geek?
I don't know, just, again, like, Hyperflex, I don't think Hyperflex with this new roster is gonna get good, like, right away. I think, like, maybe in a week or so, we're gonna see major improvements, and I'm sure we'll see major improvements in the EM game. But, like, EM is definitely one of the top teams, and Hyperflex is definitely not up there with them, so I don't know how well they're gonna be able to do.
And Chef, how do you feel? Kind of, everything is against the wall. How do you feel Hyperflex is going to be doing?
So I don't want to like stir the pot too much here. So I'm just gonna try and keep things at a reasonable rate and say that we have, yes, a new team, and you can't just expect a new team to just walk on out here and be like, hey, I'm gonna roll everyone. It's very rare that even happens, if it even does. And although I don't feel like for that reason you should doubt us, because we've been working very hard on improvements, and a lot of people on the team have been improving pretty fast rates. So I've been really proud of everyone on the team. It's been really nice having them. Like, everyone's coming together and working hard. And I think that, like, we could at least make this a good showing from our team this week.
Honestly, very wholesome. My heart grew 2 times this day of like hearing that.
No,
From the exactly, but from the analysis and community, obviously Edinburgh are really high up in a chance to winning, but I'm really hoping to see Hyperflex kind of make a difference and show you're the new Backstreet Boys. For the last game of next week, it's going to be OTW, or really, I guess this week, whenever it's being aired, but it's OTW versus SBC. I put a 3-0 in favor of OTW. Phantom, you'll obviously be there. Geek, you put a 3-0, and Chef, you put a 3-1. What's with this one? What makes you have so much hope in SBC?
Well, frankly, in a way, granted, it's not as major, but in a way, I think of it as kind of like the same situation with us, where they are just now getting used to a new main tank, and it kind of changed. Like, even just one new player in a role can really shake things up. And while yes, we did lose 3-0 to OTW, you could tell like that there was a lot of shaky spots in their play, and of like some stuff, like they have some glaring weaknesses. Like Tree definitely looks really weak. Like he hasn't looked the strongest on the Sombra, and SBC, while it has been like they obviously haven't won like map since week 1 against Hyperflex, they definitely have been slowly improving week by week and slowly just showing more and more potential. And I feel like this is their chance where they finally actually are able to at least take a map off the team.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, Geek, you are how confident would you say? Because you're sticking with a 3-0, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same feeling when it goes towards Hyperflex.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't think SBC will improve greatly in the week, and I think OTW is like a really, really good team. Like I have confidence in their players that they will make it a 3-0, but I would love to see SBC prove me wrong. And I really hope that like they do show improvement in their play and they do show coordination and such, but I just don't know if this week is the week.
Yeah, that is true. But, you know, Phantom, you're the flex support wearing main support outfit. Obviously, how do you feel going up against...
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously, how do you feel going up against, you know, one of the debatably worst teams?
First of all, I think Chef is like a fortune teller, or like he can see the future. Because, and this is something, I don't know, wait, when is this airing? I don't know if this matters if I say it. Whatever. So, my Ethernet actually broke down. So I can't actually play Overwatch, and I have no idea when it's coming back up. So, if SBC, I don't think it's impossible for SBC to win a map, especially since we just traded Void, our backup flex support, or like backup support player. So, yeah, I think they could win a map. Otherwise, I think we're working really hard to integrate Me better, and like Me actually has previous synergy with Blue Jay because they're like really good friends, and they actually legitimately only joined L0 to play together. So we're not super uncoordinated. We're definitely working on it. We're working on Tree, and if it weren't for the Ethernet, I would hard stick to my 3-0 prediction, but I don't know. They could take a map, maybe.
Yeah, that's 100% possible, honestly. But and the analysts and the community seems to be in a hard agreement with you guys. Pretty much. I feel like next week or this week, whenever this gets aired, is going to be a pretty standard, solid. We all know how it's going to go, so mostly we'll be paying attention towards the Geo and Hyperflex game. So obviously, I thank you three for joining me down in the countdown. Make sure to check out the other League Zero countdowns and channels. Thank you so much.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the expert part of the countdown. My name is Scooter. I'm joined here with Glacial.
What's up?
Juice.
I'm back, bitches.
And Client.
Hi.
So, we were supposed to have Zero on the countdown instead of Juice. But Zero went randomly offline, like 5 to 10 minutes before the countdown, so...
I think he had a bedtime.
Yeah. Alright. There's nothing much to talk about the first game. It was just Chengdu forfeiting to Glock.
There was a forfeit?
Yeah, they had forfeit. I don't
Chengdu
know.
was scared.
I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Scared
if
of
there
the
was a
fucking
match,
Mario, man.
it would probably would have been 3-1 Chengdu.
I
No
thought that
reason other than the fact that Matt is just so fucking large that Jisha would have got so scared that he just would have left the game.
You know what? I can.
Yeah,
get
man, this
behind
shit was 5'3". You'd have got actual crushed.
that. Yeah.
Wait,
Matt
I'm
was
actually
the
ta-
person-
I'm taller than someone?
Matt was
What?
the person who was born with the idea. When he came out of his mom, his dad said, "Holy shit, this kid's built different."
I mean, he is kind of, yeah. You don't miss. All right, moving on to the next game. It was Z9 versus Easy Clap. Z9 won 3-0. The player of the match was Juice. Congrats, Juice. And the honorable mentions
but I
were
did.
Peter Peterly and Red X. Juice, can you just talk about the game, like how you came into the game, thinking, and everything about the game? Yeah.
All right, so we came in basically saying, "All right, if we lose this, we really fucking suck." Basically, I will agree that Akri is right, and that sometimes Peter will just wake up and just fucking annihilate the other team, which was correct. But luckily, I didn't completely blow the game, and I felt like my shatters were a lot. Well, let's just say I think, as dumb as I played, I think that my shatters got more, let's say, value out of what happened with Infected.
Good work, Juice.
Yeah, I do have to say that Easy Clap did not play that well. Like since Neg 1 is gone, it's been really affecting the team as a whole because their main shot caller is gone.
I actually wanted to rather play against Neglect rather than Infected, I think.
Yeah, I also want to do that this week because we're facing them this week.
I mean, Affected isn't awful. I'm pretty sure he's a decent SR now. He's not like a throw pick.
Well, I mean, when you play
I'm
600 games, then holy fuck. Dude, that's like, dude, I'm pretty sure someone to make a meme of just his career profile and just fucking captioning it, "Holy fuck, go outside."
I've never seen someone go up like so fast though. He went from 3,500 to like 4,300 in like a few weeks.
Yeah. That's
Yeah. Yeah, he has been
Or
climbing up a
is it?
lot, but rank doesn't really translate that well. Well, it kind of does, but it translates not that well into just an actual team.
Yeah, it's not the
Yeah,
same, but it
I mean,
still
look at
helps.
Gorilla Grip.
Yeah, look at Gorilla Grip. They've been many like 4.4, 4.5 teams when their average your average is like 4.3, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like 4.1 monkey only this season, but I haven't really played at all. I could usually be like 4.6, obviously, if I tried.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm kidding. But
are you
I
though?
haven't.
Are you?
New Pascal?
I'm the Pascal of Tank.
Pascal of Tank, yes. All right, let's move on to the final game of the week, which it was Newt 3-2ing Love Muffin. The player of the match was Client. Congrats, Client. And the honorable mention was Daniel.
Yeah, I don't count that score.
All right. All right. So, Client, can you just go through your team's like perspective of the game and all that, and then I'll go through mine.
I wasn't there for the first half because I was in the tournament or Trial of Champions match, and obviously that's more important than League Zero. But I heard from inside sources on the team that we were getting a bit tilted. We, for some reason, weren't playing meta picks. At one point, we were playing like Hanzo Doom.
Oh,
or some
yeah.
shit. So I don't really know what the deal with that was, but we got tilted because of that. I can't really blame people for getting mad about that, especially because we did go into the match thinking that we were gonna win. So going down in the series after like playing troll picks definitely got people mad. But then I finished my match, finished my interview, showed up, slapped my massive cock on the table, and said, "Alright, boys, we got this." And
Yeah.
it was pretty easy after that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, once we played with our starting roster and we were actually playing meta and not troll picks, it was pretty easy.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
After your interview, were you like, "Oh fuck, I gotta play with Newt. Or you're like, time to
I-
carry.
I didn't even care. Like, I was like, okay, time to go to my match. And I was like, wait, we're down 2-1. I was like, oh shit, okay, I have to actually try. Because we were originally going to be playing me on DPS in this match. I was going to be playing Sombra and Swift was going to be playing Reaper or something like that. But obviously that couldn't happen because I had a match. But anyways, I came in to after I was finished, I came into the series thinking I was going to be something for DPS. And then I saw in match chat, Gio say, client for X Runner. And I was like, oh shit, I guess we're actually trying.
Is it like hard? Like, is there a key difference from playing with Ultra and then immediately going to Flawless?
I mean, yeah, but that's no like disrespect to Flawless, because honestly, I've been really surprised with how Flaw's been playing. He's been playing really good. He has his moments of retardism, but don't we all? It's fine. But honestly, a lot less than I expected. So shout out to Flawless. I know you're gonna be watching this. He's been playing really good this season. I mean, yes, but that's just mainly because Ultra and I play a lot more than me and Flawless together, and Ultra's just insane. But obviously, it's not like too bad where I have to like adjust super hard. Flawless is still pretty good, especially for
I mean, that's a good compliment coming from like, I mean, if you're like Flawless and you're listening to
yeah, I mean, yeah,
who's been
Flaw's
basically
playing
tier 2 saying he's doing a good job, I would say that.
Yeah, no, Flaw's been playing really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, not that much of a difference, but there's some that's to be expected.
Also, I love Flawless's idea for next year for when he becomes manager.
Oh yeah, main team fitness.
Fucking draft every main tank.
All right.
I'm sure that'll work out.
I'll just go through my side of things. So we were pretty like stretched on time because Eok had to go to something at 10, and Ben had to go to something at 10, and Jewel had to go to something at 10. So we just tried to like get everything over with quickly. And I kind of think that like messed with our mentals a bit because we had to get through it fast so we could get like our best roster in, our main roster in, so we could just deal with it. When we went up 2-1, we were like, oh my god, this is pretty. I wouldn't say easy, but it was pretty easy at the time.
Yeah.
And then client, you definitely made like a big difference with the team. I'm not gonna dismiss that. Like that was insane what you did.
I was just kind of sitting on target acquired the entire game.
Yeah.
I don't know how much value he was getting before I showed up, but I was literally just only going for him.
Oh, we won King's Robius, Ben. That's why.
Yeah, because I know he can like really turn a fight with Widow, so I was making sure that he didn't have any space.
Yeah. Like, and this is not like a downplay X Runner, because he is a pretty good not main tank, off tank. But it's just such a big difference between you and him. That yeah.
I obviously wasn't there, so I don't know, but I heard that he played really well, so I'm sure that he filled his role perfectly fine. I mean, like for this season, he could easily like start on another team. When we drafted him, we were surprised that we even got him because we knew that he did really good in pugs, and I saw him still available. I was like, yo, Gio, this is like a solid backup, and then we got him. So yeah, he's definitely played really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a little bit of experience playing with like Flaw and X Runner on like a separate like thing. They're pretty decent tank line. They're not like bad. They're not great. They're solid overall. Really good.
Yeah, they can definitely hold their own in League 0 for sure.
Yeah. I also do have to say that it was honestly this is coming from me, but it was honestly pretty even through every role until you came in client. And even that, it was kind of still even.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my opinion, like the main tanks were really close, the off tanks were pretty close, the hit scans were pretty close. Like everything was really really close.
Yeah, we obviously, like we said, we went into that thinking that I wouldn't say it would be an easy win, but we were confident enough to put me on DPS.
Yeah.
So obviously, you guys played a lot better than we expected.
Yeah, like I remember you guys first ran out with like Ball Hog, like Tracer Farah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. They're crazy for that. I don't know.
Yeah. And then I feel like that's why we won that sub map, because after that you guys just didn't have ults to combat ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's definitely a high risk comp.
Yeah. But we definitely learned a lot from that match, and we're definitely going to go through the next matches, just learning from that and going through it. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, moving on to the predictions. First game is Chengdu Chats versus Z9. We all think that Chengdu Chats is going to win. Juice, do you have anything to say about that?
Well, I'm not playing, so I'm automatically gonna say that the game is gonna be a lot closer than what people probably think. Obviously, like, I probably have seen my fair share of Matt versus Ultra, but I feel like in this time it's like you could see two halves where it's like Matt is absolutely fucking grinding in the Tespa region, and then you have fucking Ultra, who is literally is a tier 2 player. So if you want to watch a matchup, this is probably the best one-on-one Reinhardt in League Zero history in terms of just skill and just history behind these two guys. And then we've been trying to work in the free agency pool. We've picked up some people that we think have been pretty good to the team, and Peter will probably is the person, I guess, now who we're building around, and we think that
He's your
he has a lot of
franchise
talent.
player.
Yeah, but it's like, in the nicest way, it's like trying to build around Antonio Brown.
I can understand that.
I do have to say that Z9 is getting a lot stronger with like the additions of Ultra, Vexy, and aren't you guys adding a new flex support?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boss baby?
Yeah, the boss baby.
We're gonna have to drop one player, but he's been kind of AFK, so we don't care.
You're dropping your Mercy one trick?
Is Ultra actually
Actually,
showing
no.
up? Because what's it called? I heard from like Emki Kanji that like, he's kind of been AFK.
In scrims, yes. To the game, I think he probably will show up.
But yeah. Z9 does look really, really interesting.
Well, either way, if Ultra can't show up, that means Zero and Bun probably can't show up, and then I'd play. But I don't know who Chengdu can put in for those two, so it would probably be like.
It would probably like
Chag.
Plasma Chag.
Okay, well then we just win. No matter how bad I'd get fucking main tank difference by Matt, that team is just not the same without Bundle Zero. And there's no disrespect to Plasma and Chegg, but like that team doesn't even scrim, and it's like it'd just be kind of a totally different game.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty goated that you have two Trials DPS on one team in League Zero.
Yeah.
So they
It's
can
really hard to
definitely-
compete with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I probably could if I was on DPS, but like with them, I'll be playing off tank most of the time. But... Guys, you're supposed to laugh at my jokes. Come on.
Good job, Bryant.
W.
Alright, let's move on to the next game, which is Easy Clap versus Love Muffin. Most people predict that Love Muffin is going to win. I do have to say we are bringing in our new flex support, which we picked up last week. And we are changing up a bit of stuff, like I said last week. And honestly, I don't really care that people know this. I probably will not be there for the game, just because I have IRL stuff going on. So we're going to have Blue in, which I honestly trust Blue in the main tank position.
He finally gets to play the role that he signed up for.
Yeah, I know.
He's on a more jail.
Yeah, and we're bringing in our flex support, which he's actually nutty. And yeah, I feel like since since Z9 rolled them 3-0, well, not really a roll.
Yeah.
It was
It was a juice difference.
yeah, kind of. I feel like since that happens, and just most of our pieces are better than theirs, we're just gonna flatten. Just
Yeah, I can see it.
yeah.
I
And
can see Easy Clap maybe taking a nap, but
Yeah, I think Easy Clap.
yeah, I could definitely see Easy
Maybe.
Clap taking like control or something, which is a lot more hectic. But if it's like a lot more controlled, I feel like we definitely
Honestly,
take it.
no offense, Pooter.
Yeah.
I want to see Easy Club win just because I just feel bad for Rector.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've been through so much, and I just feel like he deserves his first fucking win.
Yeah. I mean, there's always still the Swiss style bracket, you know.
I think it's true. It's gonna be a lot more even for them.
Yeah.
Who would they play?
The lower teams.
Maybe Z9 due to early losses.
Probably Z9, Love Muffin, and probably the third place team, which we don't know who it is yet. But yeah, I don't know what else to say for this game. We're playing pretty well. Most of our internal issues are now gone, which is really, really good. That really, really destroyed us for the new game. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next team, which is Newt and San Francisco Glock. This game, I think, is going to be really, really close. It's against probably my number 1 and number 2 seeds in my power rankings.
I'd agree. Actually, I disagree, but because Chengdu doesn't give a fuck, I believe that those two are the strongest teams.
Look, man, all I'll say is if the good Newt shows up, we will win that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm not worried, but I'm very confident we can win that. Now, if the Newt that shows up in the first half of the Love Muffin game
And plays Doom Hanzo.
then they're gonna fucking destroy us. But I
have a question.
What?
Does Adbon get tilted?
I can't
It
comment.
depends.
I can't comment on that game, but I mean, we all get tilted at some points. I mean, I don't get tilted because it's.
I think Adbon's relatively chill. He's not the world. He's not the most boomable one on it.
Yeah, he just Eagles kids.
I don't think I'm being. What's the word? I don't think I'm lying when I say this, but I don't really tilt, at least for League Zero, because it's not that I don't give a shit, but it's definitely a lot lower stakes than what I'm playing in now, so I don't really. It's not that I don't care, because obviously I'm playing to win, but if I lose, oh well, type thing. Like, obviously I'm playing to win, but if I lose, nothing to win, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm just playing the season to have fun and get the back-to-back. Yeah,
Honestly, I have literally no clue who wins this game. Like going into it, I really don't know.
It'll
Because
be
I
close.
don't think SFG and Nunu are both pretty much don't scrim. It's
Yeah.
like a battle of teams who have high skill caps but don't try.
I think we've scrimmed 3 times a week as a record. I think that's the most we've scrimmed in
We've
a week.
scrimmed twice total.
Every time we have to scrim 6 to 8 if we want to get actual players there, because a lot of us have other scrims at 8 to 10 like me and Swift. So 6 to 8 scrims are pretty hard to find, and when you do find them, they're either against South American contenders teams or they're just against random.
Oh yeah, isn't that you guys scrim partner?
I think D9 holds the records for most scrims with people that are not even on the fucking team. 'Cause
Yeah.
we now have
Oh yeah.
we now have a community event on Friday.
Yeah.
Which is fucking look for a 4.3K scrim, and then we're just like, all right, probably no one's gonna fucking show. All right, yo, what's the scrim? Fucking what? What's calm?
I'm pretty sure I had a ring in the past 2 of your guys' scrims.
Did you wait? Did you ring for us today?
Oh no, well I forget when it was, but one of them I was playing DPS, the other I was playing Lucio.
No, I think that was last week.
Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the last time. Last time SFG scrim was before our first game.
Yeah, I remember that. You guys were saying, "Oh, we scrimmed twice this whole thing," and then you guys played a 5v6, and then you guys didn't scrim after that, and then you guys just rolled without dropping a map, right?
Yeah, we haven't dropped them up since the first game.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had to bring Aqua through Expert.
All right, so I think that's the end of the countdown. Do you guys have any final words?
Hashtag get a grip. Hashtag we're gonna beat Glock because they're bad. Just kidding. We'll win. Mark my words. That's about all I have to say.
All right.
Love your family.
Wise words. Yeah.
Glacier, do you have anything or?
Nah.
No. All right. Do you guys want to shout out your Twitter, your Twitch, YouTube?
Yeah, I'm 9 followers away from 100. So could you follow me at Z9Juice? That'd be nice.
Oh, I got
Like-
you right now.
Yeah,
If I
let
get
me see.
100
Let me see.
followers, my dad would finally stop beating me.
Oh, I am following. No, yes, I now follow you. There we go.
W.
W.
Follow me on Twitter at KleinerW.
And watch him in his fucking Gorilla Grip strings. or
If
game.
you're a girl, hit my DMs.
Wait, don't you make muffins?
I do. I'm a professional muffin maker. If you want, I'll send you a picture. I have a good picture of me making muffins. I'm a professional chef, full-time, part-time Overwatch player. If you date me, you'll get good food.
Damn, bro.
And a good boost. Just kidding. I don't boost. I don't endorse that. That's bad. You should never boost people.
The last countdown I was in, it was a lot more chaotic.
Oh yeah, because we had like
energy was just
Adbon and who else?
It was Adbon and Adam.
Oh yeah. Shit, something just came up on the thing and I can't delete it. So yeah. I think that's it. Alright. See you guys next week.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen of League Zero? My name is Dividing, and if you don't know me already, I am the commissioner and owner of League Zero. I'm basically the guy at the top, monitoring the staff team and making sure that everything is running as smoothly as possible. And for those of you who are veterans last season, you might remember that at the midway point, I did a commissioner Q&A and we put it at the end of that week's countdown. And now that we are halfway through Season 3, I wanted to do it again, so here we are. First of all, I want to thank everyone who submitted questions on the forum that I submitted a few weeks ago. I ended up getting like 33 submissions on it, which is awesome. If I could answer all of them, I would. Unfortunately, then I would be here for a very, very long time. So I've picked out around 10 questions, and I'm going to be answering them here. So yeah, hope you enjoy. The first question is from Abraxas, who asks, how has my day been? And I am actually having a very good day so far. I had a test today in my operations management class. I have not done super well in those tests in the past, but I pulled through today. I got myself, I only missed one question out of like 40. And that was awesome. I feel so smart right now. Nothing can defeat my superior intellect. The next question comes from Wana, who asks, what are the league's goals at this point in time? And as of right now, I would say the league's goals are as they've always been, which is to provide a casual yet somewhat competitive environment for people to experience Overwatch as a team-based game, as a part of a team. League Zero is meant to be that place where if you have never played on a team before, but you're sort of interested in playing, like, this is where you start, and this is where you meet people, and hopefully that branches out into more teams and more opportunities. You know, obviously if you've been on a team and you want to play in League Zero, that's still awesome, but that's sort of the idea behind League Zero, is providing people with that team-based Overwatch experience, because some people really just only take Overwatch for what you get on Ranked, and Ranked is not as good as playing in an organized team. I think we can all agree that. Next question comes from Ben, who asks, will there be any additional player awards at the end of the season other than the standard MVP, All-Star, etc.? Maybe. I've always wanted to expand the awards thing to be more than just the players and the teams. I've always wanted to include a Manager of the Year award, a Coach of the Year award, a Caster of the Year award, you know, that kind of stuff. I do worry that the Caster of the Year award kind of thing, that would end up just becoming a popularity contest. So maybe if for something like that, we'd have Acri and Pendy choose who they think were the 4 or 5 best casters, and then they would you would vote off of that. As far as team-based awards, I feel like we have all of the pretty standard stuff, other than a 7th man kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not really sure what those, awards would be. We could do, a role star kind of thing, but we already sort of do that. So, I don't know. I'm definitely interested in expanding it out of just the teams, though. Next question is from Feifels, who asks, over time, League Zero has added a bunch of divisions, and I wanted to ask, how many divisions do you think is the max you'd be willing to do? And I want to say that, actually, right now, I'm pretty happy with where the divisions are at currently. For those of you who don't know, the first time we did this Season 0, everyone played in the same division, from Grandmaster to Bronze. In Season 1, we added Novice and Advanced, and that cut off, I think, at, like, Plat, or maybe it was Diamond. And then in Season 2, we added an Intermediate to be in the middle, and then in Season 3, we have now added Expert and sort of shifted a couple other division lines to go with that. And I think that with the current number of players we have, I'm pretty happy with the division lines right now. I don't think there's necessarily any point, except for maybe like a low intermediate, where you will never have a chance to get on a team. I think anyone, it doesn't matter what SR you are, you can come out there, show up the pugs, like really get yourself out there, and I think someone will pick you up. Now, if we were to balloon in the next couple of seasons and get a bunch more players, then I think I'd be willing to reevaluate where the division lines are right now and try and figure out potentially a 5th or 6th division. But I think as of right now, assuming that we keep these same players, actually, interesting story, we were actually very heavily considering in the preseason going back down to 3 divisions because we weren't sure if Novice or Expert would have enough, but we're making it through. So, unless there's like a big change in the player count in League Zero, whether that's down or up, I think this should be around where you expect divisions to be from this point forward. This next question is from an anonymous user who asks, what are you doing to combat toxicity in the League Zero server and the community as a whole? Unfortunately, not enough, in my opinion. I still think that even toxicity, I think, has improved and has continued to improve as League Zero continues to go along. But it's still very much a problem where I do see sometimes, you know, for smaller things than it's worth, at least, one member of the community sort of gets singled out and they get sort of made fun of until they eventually end up leaving or disconnecting themselves from the community. And that's something that both myself and everyone else on staff does not feel like that is okay. And I think we have already changed our way of thinking when it comes to evaluating these kinds of scenarios. Instead of looking at it with the lens of, like, is this explicitly against the rules, we have started to bring up the question a lot of, is this something that we want to say is okay in League Zero? And, you know, a lot of the times our answer in these kinds of discussions is no. And therefore, we end up coming down on that situation a little harder than we probably would have in the past. However, I do think that we are doing a decent job of, you know, setting the boundaries and be like, what is okay, what isn't okay. Obviously, we can improve, and we can always improve. And we will continue to improve on it because, you know, there have been some scenarios where I think harassment has gone a little bit out of hand this season, though I do still think that it's an improvement over last season, and I am pretty happy with that, but that is something we're going to continue to strive to improve towards. This next question is from AJD, who says, what do you think have been the biggest successes and failures this season with all of the changes made after Season 2? I think we have had a lot of positive results from the changes we made after Season 2. I think a lot of our internal processes for trying to catch Smurfs before they get in have been quite effective. You know, if at this point, any Smurfs who are playing in the league have done a really good job of concealing themselves and making themselves not look suspicious. So, you know, if you're listening to this, congrats, I guess. Don't do that, but congrats. But, we have increased our ability to find Smurfs like tenfold, and the experiences from last season really helped with that. In addition, I think the pug requirement, while it wasn't perfect with recording, really did help us with the whole, like, oh, this guy didn't show up to pugs, and now this team is drafting him, and what's the deal with that, man? At the very least, those players had to at least be at a pug, so someone would have seen them. There's still ways that could be improved upon, because there are a few players who very much went to the bare minimum of pugs, and then they showed up, and now they're not quite, and now everyone's like, wait, who are these guys? But the fact that they had to show up to pugs at all to be able to play, I think, proves that this rule is working at least somewhat. As far as failures go, I will say that the latecomer rules that we've put in place this season, I'm not 100% sure about. I know a lot of you guys aren't 100% sure about it either. The basic philosophy behind it was like, okay, we think latecomers are OP, basically, and they invalidate the idea of the draft league altogether, because halfway through the season you can just sign a brand new team of people that are way better than the people you drafted. So how can we quote-unquote nerf latecomers? And we nerfed latecomers quite a bit. Now I think we may have swung it a little bit too far in the other direction, where if you are coming in late, it is really difficult to get onto a team if you don't have prior connections. And, some people might argue that's actually a good thing. I'm not 100% sure, though, especially in cases where teams, like, genuinely need latecomers, but the rules say, nope, they can't play for another week. So, I don't know, that's definitely something to discuss. And this leads into my next question, This leads into my next question from Master Dempsey, who says, are there any rules you regret putting in place or believe was made too severe? I think Master Dempsey is definitely trying to get me to talk about the ineligibility rules we put into place. I don't think those rules, I would say the rules that were too severe are potentially the latecomer rules. The ineligibility rule, I think, is good in theory because it prevents people from leaving a team just to rejoin the team that they want to play on. We had several situations like that, and again, that sort of invalidates the draft league concept in general. Like, if you just want to play with your friends, there's so many other places to do that. However, what we could do to improve on that rule is to better define what kinds of situations where you could leave a team and still be eligible for free agency. Because the rules are extremely vague as to what actually defines someone as eligible to drop and not be picked up. And that's sort of by design, because you're not supposed to be able to easily do that. But a lot of people get confused about it and think, oh, maybe if I drop they'll let me in free agency, and then we're like, no, and then they're just kind of screwed for the rest of the season. So I think improving on that would definitely make that rule a little easier. Triggered asks, what public issue caused the most difficulty within the staff this season? In parentheses, staff meetings, debating, and maybe started a few arguments. I feel like you're trying to get me to talk about staff drama, which I don't think there really is that much staff drama. We get along pretty well. Or you're trying to get me to talk about team drama that made us argue. And again, team drama is usually just us trying to moderate what's going on within a team, and they usually figure it out themselves with minimal intervention from us. So that's not really an issue. But this question made me think about a really funny scenario that happened in the preseason that I thought would be a fun little behind-the-scenes thing. One of the concepts that we argued about the most in the preseason was, when does a map officially start and a team cannot sub in players anymore? There was one camp who said the second that the lobby host clicks start match, the map has started and you can't swap at all. If you forgot to make a swap and they hit start, it sucks to suck. There was another camp that said, well, really, the map hasn't actually started until the doors have opened on the first attack, so really we can give them that little bit of leeway. But then some people were like, no, but then coaches can see what comps they're running at that point, and then swap accordingly. And, you know, the arguments went back and forth for a long time, and I don't even fully remember what we ended up deciding on, but that was something we argued about a lot. Next up is coming from an anonymous user who asks, what would you say is the most important aspect of a prospective manager? And who best embodies this aspect in each division, if you can say? I don't know if I can really point out a single manager from each division. Supposed to come off as not biased as much as I can, but I will say, in my opinion, the thing that separates, like, a not-so-great League Zero manager from a really, really good League Zero manager is just more of an understanding of the kinds of things that need to be done to succeed in a draft league. Like, if you've run a team in ELO Hell before, and think, you know, I can do a League Zero team, that sounds like fun, I get to build it up from scratch. It's genuinely, it's not the same, and I think a lot of people are taken off guard by the challenges that arise from building a League Zero team and getting these rosters who have never talked to each other before, and, you know, people have time commitments that they might not have had if they were committed to a team beforehand, and there's just all this stuff, and, like, you know, some team members might not gel as well with each other as you anticipated, and any League Zero manager can tell you that whatever your plan was in the preseason, you can pretty much throw it out by week 4. And I think, kind of going on to that, the ability to know what's going to happen, and also the ability to go with the flow and stay positive and upbeat and lifting up your team no matter what's going on, no matter who's on the field. I think trying to make sure that your team is comfortable and having fun no matter what's going on is huge. Just keeping up that team morale, especially as we get into the later points of the season, is going to be, like, a big thing. Yeah, that would be my answer for that. Both knowing what's going to happen in a draft league and also having the ability to just roll with the punches and keep your team upbeat, even if you're losing a lot. Wizard asks, when can I play Genji? That's not really a question for me, Wizard. You can pretty much ask your manager if you can play Genji, though. I'm sure they'll say yes. They'll figure out some sort of map or comp to run with you on Genji. Or you could just, like, press the H key, which is the most powerful button in Genji's arsenal as of right now, and we all know it. And the final question of today is coming from Corpse, who asks, is Tanikby still a bot? And I would have to respond, affirmative. So, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate having such, like, devoted and passionate people involved in League Zero. This really could not function without you. I wish you all the best of luck in the second half of the season, and subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channel. Yeah! Don't get tilted, everybody.